I met Lauren when I was 15 years old at a youth conference at her church. About 5 years later, we had kind of reconnected through Facebook.
I think we were just always friends on Facebook, MySpace back in the day. Continue to stay friends. Probably when I was around 21, he was playing a show in Vegas. He was in a band, and it was a Christian metal band. We talked a little, but again, so shy, wouldn't even make eye contact with me. And that was it. I mean, basically from there, we started just kind of commenting back and forth on Facebook. We were in a long distance relationship for a while. I really felt like this is it. I knew I found the one.
I think at the age of 21, we started dating, and we dated for about 5 years and then became engaged. And about a year after that, we got married in 2015. And oh man, it's been a wild roller coaster, but a huge blessing.
In 2018 is, I found out I was pregnant, and I was so happy. Probably already shopping for baby stuff, like didn't even know anything. This was beginning of 2018, January. And shortly after, I had a miscarriage. And devastated, because you never think, like, so much hope, and you never think that something like that would happen to you. The following month after my miscarriage, I found out I was pregnant again. And I remember just thinking, like, okay, like, we're gonna see how this goes and everything. And I ended up having a miscarriage again.
And that was very devastating. Very hard to see hope after 2 miscarriages. You know, it gets heartbreaking enough where you don't want to try again.
After the second miscarriage, I was very distraught. I mean, you know, emotionally had a rough time, PTSD, anxiety, and all of that. And I remember praying and God telling me, in August, you're going to be pregnant.
After a lot of prayer, a lot of time talking to our pastors, you know, we went again. We tried, and sure enough, got pregnant. And I think fear was the biggest thing every single day, just week after week. Even though you're getting further along, at any moment that can be kind of taken away from you, which we had found out twice. So it was hard to kind of believe in it, and but we stayed positive, kept moving forward. We were trying to find a name, and I remember it just took us a long time. I think we were almost around 32 weeks before we'd found a name, but the name Jason came up. I think I had seen it in a story that I was reading, and I looked up the name, and it meant healer. And I think that was the dead giveaway that was going to be his name, because from our 2 previous miscarriages that had really torn us apart, was he was going to be the healer for that.
So I had him March 30th, 2019. He came, and it was the most beautiful thing. I'll never forget it.
That was the day I became a father, and that was life-changing.
He was perfect, so happy, and he actually smiled, which is like very rare for like a newborn to smile. Very sweet little boy. One of the nights he was crying a lot, and it was very unusual because he didn't cry too much. He was a really good baby. He cried a little bit, but not too much. And I tried calling the nurse, and Elijah just kept saying, let's just take him to the emergency. Like, I don't know why he's crying so much. And all of a sudden he just stopped and went pale and limp. And that feeling, like, is just, my gut dropped, and we just took him to the hospital. I mean, I threw on Elijah's shoes, and I was holding him. We didn't put him in car seat, nothing. Drove to the ER, and immediately they started, intubating him and everything, just trying to, like, bring some life to him.
The doctor had come in Same doctor. And he walked into the room we were in and said, hey, it's been 30 minutes and not much good could come after a baby who hasn't been breathing for 30 minutes. We can keep trying if you guys would like, but just be prepared that it's not looking very good. And even if he does come back, it's not going to be the same. And so we took his word, and as hard as it was, we had to make that call and let him know, hey, it's okay. We're accepting the fate of losing our boy. Lauren became the strong one. She just kept saying over and over, God is good. God is good. And when I didn't want to believe it, it was just the reassuring voice that, yeah, God is good.
I know God's good. Even in the thick of, the worst time of my life, that moment, I just knew at the end of the day, God is always good.
From the hospital, having to go home, it's like we didn't want to walk in that door. We didn't want to not be parents. And as soon as we walked in the door, as much as there was pain, I think all the prayers were definitely already flooding, because when it didn't make sense, there was peace. When it didn't make sense, we were calm. We weren't crying. We weren't freaking out. And we just kept saying, there's an ocean of peace in this house right now. And it held us together for a good portion of that beginning. And we just knew, we said over and over, it's everyone's prayers for us. They're praying for healing. They're praying for strength. And God's here holding us together.
After Jay passed, we took a trip to Pismo Beach. We're just staring at the water. And I just closed my eyes, and instantly I could feel God speaking to me in that still small voice and telling me, this time next year, things are going to be different. In October, I was pregnant, and he was born 4 pounds, just under 5 pounds. He was small, but the minute he came out, he was crying so loud, which is so good to hear as a mom, when they come out and cry and, their lungs are good. And they even said, the nurses, oh, his lungs are so good. And that just made me so happy.
God's promises aren't void. He had so much favor on us, and we're so blessed. And he knows it too. Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're the Gracias, and we're undisputed.